Hello and welcome to the Quibber channel. I'm Jason, your host. So let's talk about my financial situation. My brain likes to, when I decide on a course of action, I want to go from A to B and get it fucking done. Once I've got past the point of research and dealing with it, I want it done. My brain doesn't deal with timelines, doesn't deal with the world out there, because the world out there doesn't make sense. So, when I started this idea of equity release in the house, still a lot of it I can't talk about. So I'll probably be ranting about it and then I have to reset this video and that. And so let's try and get this version of it that I don't say anything that I don't, until it's all sorted, I don't want thingy, but it's in process now. But the thing is, that process for the transfer of a deed or the change of a deed, because when you have equity release, you are basically giving away part of your house for money, and it's got to be done. And because it's houses are one of the main legally protected assets you can have. I mean, literally, there is so much fucking shit that you have to fill in when you're talking about moving these kind of things, and it's all to stop people doing things like money laundering and that. So the money that's going to be paid for the house has to have a actual paper trail of where the money came from. And you can't, for example, I couldn't just go up to a company and say, hey, would you like 30% of my house? Give me 20,000 and you can have 30% of my house. And said, okay, you send me 20,000 and I will contact my solicitor and put your name on my thingy. That's how my brain sees the situation. But it's not like that. Because land registry, background checks, they even have to send out forms for what is to see if you what is called a person of interest or thing. Basically, if you go a solicitor and you've had anything done with a solicitor, you will have a one of the things that comes out will be a letter going to you that was basically you have to sign to say you're not in the public eye, you're not a political figure, you're not all these things. It's so because if they're going to have to do anything for you and you're a public figure or something, then they have to enact certain protocols to protect you, and they have to, and it's going to cost more and all that kind of thing. For example, rich people and people in the public eye, if they sell or buy houses and stuff like that, there is a greater level of security around that than actual for just me and you. But even me and you, a house is a piece of property, in that is something that scammers go after, something that criminals will try to gain access to, because a lot of they know that having access to a location, having access to a house now, so everything you do around this situation takes time. It can take up to fucking 6 months. Doesn't usually. Usually it's 6 weeks to so around that. But we've started the process, and it will take as long as it takes. So I probably won't have everything sorted within 4 weeks. It's going to be at least the end of November, at least probably into December, before I can do any of the buying or anything, which is a bad thing, because my brain had set this goal of doing things in a certain time and everything, and the big problem is that my brain set a timeline that was completely unrealistic and not connected to reality. And now I've just got, the good thing is with the Linux stuff and that, I've got something to distract myself. But I've spent a bit of money, not much, that I shouldn't have, because I thought I could afford it. Like even setting up the knocking down the wall at the front, which was a good thing that we did it. It will work brilliantly for the new mobility scooter, but I had to buy a chain, I had to buy locks, and things like that. And these are, my brain went out of sync with my budget. Because my brain was saying, hey, you're going to have all this fucking money soon. You don't have to worry. So I've got to reevaluate and do some budgeting and figure out how fucked I am. Not too fucked, just a little bit fucked. Just a few bills might bounce at the end of the month. It's nothing major. It's dealable. It's life. But it's because my brain had switched to this fantasy reality track where it took only weeks and that to sort out something like this, when it fucking well doesn't. Anybody who's bought a house, anybody, we're not in it. It's not as hard as if it was. If I was buying a house and getting a mortgage and all that, that can take massive amounts of time to sort out. Because we're not doing that. This is just an equity release. It's usually between 4 weeks, 6 weeks, 2 months. So, yes. So that's a doubt. That's something that I'm having to deal with at the moment. But this is how my brain works. So this is Jason for the Gueva channel. Bye bye for now.